Hey, warriors. So I'm a bit irritated, so I had to write a lot of this down so I don't forget to say it. I just watched a clip where a media figure said, I like this new religion, referring to the idea that we are all fragments of God experiencing itself. And I need to be very clear now. That's not religion. That's not a revelation. And it's definitely not something anyone gets to package and sell back to us. What you're watching, if you see this clip, isn't awakening. It's rebranding ancient truth for mass fucking consumption. And that matters. The idea that consciousness experiences itself through, form isn't new. It didn't start on cable news. It didn't start with influencers. And it sure as hell didn't start with modern religion. Mystics, Gnostics, Eastern philosophy, indigenous cosmologies, even Yeshua's teachings, before they were institutionalized. This isn't new info. It's old knowing, stripped of depth, context, and responsibility. Here's the difference that people need to understand. Truth doesn't ask for belief. Religion does. Truth invites experience, embodiment, and discernment. Religion demands agreement, identity, and authority. The moment someone calls this a new religion, they are not expanding consciousness. They're trying to own the narrative. When media frames spiritual truth as a new religion, it does a few things. It flattens deep inner knowing to a fucking soundbite. It turns lived experience into ideology. It creates something people can argue about instead of fucking embody. And that's not awakening. That's distraction, obviously. But let me say this clearly, okay? No one can steal truth from you. No one can hijack what you've realized through lived experience. Spiritual language is entering mainstream spaces right now because media suddenly gets it. But it's only because people are questioning systems, authority, and meaning. That's it. They are not guiding this shift. I'll be damned. Okay? They're reacting to it. Yeshua, and I've said this before, was not trying to create followers. He wasn't trying to build institutions. He wasn't trying to be worshipped. He was pointing inward. And history shows what happens when inner truth gets externalized into power structures. If you see this clip and you feel irritated watching it, I am fucking glad you did. That means your discernment is fucking working. But don't confuse irritation with a call to fight. This isn't something that needs, a battle. It's something that needs to see, that you need to see through. Truth? Well, I would say that truth doesn't need a platform unless you're using it for good. But it doesn't need approval. It doesn't need a spokesperson. Not really. I mean, like I said, unless you're, spreading the truth for good purposes. But if something resonates, you don't believe it. You recognize it. That's the difference, And if it doesn't, you don't need to argue with it. You simply don't need to carry it forward. That's sovereignty. That's awakening. And that's something that headlines can't touch. This is what I say to Jesse. Kiss my ass, bitch. Love you.